what feels like about a ton of dead plants out of here. And then later I'll be bringing in probably about half a ton of fresh compost to redo the beds. It's probably one of the hardest days of the year so far, but it's probably also one of the most important if we want to be self-sufficient this summer. So let's crack on. Good afternoon and welcome back to Our Galician Homestead. Now the weather this week has been absolutely crazy. 1 minute it's chucking it down with loads of rain and the wind is making us all feel like we're going to fall over, and then the next minute the beautiful sunshine comes out, and it's kind of made me realise that spring is on its way, and if we want to be self-sufficient this year with our food, I kind of need to deal with this mess. So it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be fun, but it is going to be worth it. So the job is to get all of this crap out of here, all of these dead tomato plants which served us incredibly well last year, get them all out, get them all into the compost bin, ready to make compost for next year. And then all of the beds behind me, as you can see, they're looking very tired and very sad. They need refreshing with some new compost. So there's no time like the present, and I better crack on with it. Urgh. Quite believe I'm saying this, but it's really starting to get warm in here now. Oh, hello Albie. No, the jumper's going to have to come off. Ugh, it's not nice. One of the things that I actually want to address this year, or perhaps change this year, is the way that I truss up my tomatoes. Because what I have been doing for the last few years is sort of using twine and winding it around the tomatoes as they grow, it's been brilliant. It has been a really, really successful way of growing them actually. But one of my bugbears is that it's quite difficult to unravel them in the spring or in January. And I find it quite annoying. There's got to be another way of doing it. My other issue is, now I'm not sure whether you can see this one here next to me, where it clearly was blue and now it's red, and that's where in the UV and the sunshine it's just got damaged and it's snapped. And I lost count how many times I came in here at the end of autumn where they're so heavy laden with tomatoes and such damaged twine or string that they'd snapped. And then I've had to use another bit of string to kind of try and truss it back up. So I'm not really sure what to do. I didn't really want to use poles because obviously I'm not sure that if you can picture it right now, but these tomatoes sort of come up and go over and they kind of meet either side. And poles, I'm going to be restricted on what height I can use, and it would be a shame to have such a beautiful tall polytunnel and not use the full height of it. But I'm not really sure what else I can do. I guess I'm going to have to buy some UV stable kind of string and just put up with the twizzling it round and trying to untwizzle it when it's time to deal with the graveyard. If anyone's got any brilliant ideas, I'd love to hear them. maybe leave me a little comment below the video. It's not a total graveyard in the polytunnel. I mean, my patch of nasturtiums here that I had with the cucumbers, they're clearly very sad. But where it's self-seeded, life has already began. And I'll probably leave these for now. Obviously this grass needs all coming out, that's all nasty. But these nasturtiums, I'll leave these, whether they'll stay there or whether they'll get moved later on, I don't know. And we've also got some onions that I've had growing in over the winter. They're probably going to be ready to come out soon. And behind them are some sweet peas. So they went in at the beginning of December, I think. Looking a bit sad. When we went to England, they were kind of abandoned. We forgot to leave instructions to water them. But they're doing all right. Obviously, you can see some green peas on there. Some dried ones where I'll save them and reseed them. But we also have got going thyme. No, this isn't thyme. This is oregano. So they're doing really well. These sort of things seem to thrive on being abandoned. And then there's plenty of red chard, as you can see, going all the way along. Some more onions. Very strangely, there's some self-seeded tomatoes that are still clinging on. I now doubt they're going to get any fruit on them. But still, we also have some spinach. These are calendula. So these are the orange flowers that you'd have seen in here. These are calendula. These are also self-seeded. So again, I always keep them going around my tomatoes. They're really, really good for keeping bugs off tomatoes and things. So whether they'll stay there or get seeds planted on, I don't know. Here's some more chard, some more chard. And that is probably the biggest parsley bush you have ever seen in your entire life. Again, it seems to thrive on being abandoned. Go on, Albie, out the way. Good boy. And then here is my last remaining lettuce. So a little bit tiny at the minute, but that's certainly going to be very edible if he doesn't eat it first. In another couple of weeks. So that's pretty exciting. More oregano, more chard, and then in the pot up here, I've also got some lavender. Let's see if it smells. Oh yes, that's beautiful. So that I'll probably plant that out as well, and then amongst the garden there's a few plants in there. So yeah, and some more oregano. So it's not just the ghosts of a season past. That's definitely a ghost. But yeah, some new life in here, and some existing life in here as well. Going to take this up to the hens then. What's this? So you may or may not have noticed that in the previous clips I was actually cutting the tomato plants at the bottom rather than just ripping it out. And you might be wondering why I'm doing that. And that's so that I'm leaving the roots in the soil. And what that'll do is that'll keep air in the soil, and as it breaks down it will add nutrients to the soil, and it also adds a nice biodiversity to the polytunnel. So weeds and things, I will be pulling them out, like this grass. This always gets pulled out and these always get pulled out. But anything like tomatoes, or if I've got any other spinach that's died or anything else that's died, I'll just snip it off, leave the roots in and let it rot undisturbed. So this absolute monster of a thing, if you've been watching, following our channel for a while, you'll know that this is a scarlet runner bean plant that kind of self-seeded itself coming out of our compost. Goodness knows how, but I left it to it and we've had so much from this. It's been amazing. But as you can see, I've been letting some of them completely die, completely dry off. And that's because I'm saving these to sow next year. Because I can't buy them out here, I thought that I will save some. So now I've got plenty for next year. I might even save these to eat. You can rehydrate them, cook them for a couple of hours, and they're great in things like stews. Nothing gets wasted. Even when things look completely beyond point, there's still point in it. I think that's pretty much it for this video. All I need to do now is get some compost in there. Adam's busy on with making some mulch from some of the clippings of the trees that you might have seen in the video last week. If not, I'm sure we can put a handy little link somewhere now. So yeah, we're really pleased with how much we've got done. It's looking really, really clean and tidy. And as I said before, we've got a really good reason for wanting the place clean and tidy, but you're going to have to wait another week and all will be revealed. So, we'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.